So, I am here to talk about Elite 18 NFL games. 3 18 that we talk about here. So, I have 8 games to talk about, so here. The Los Angeles Rams defeated the Arizona Cardinals 37-20. The Los Angeles Rams in the playoffs when they were right before the playoffs. They needed even to like a win or loss would change your season. That's like in the 23-24 season, in the 24-25 season. Sean McVay and the coaches as a whole, like they said, like rest the stars and make a decision like rest the stars. So they, they didn't care about like what their seeding was. As a like wildcard team. This year they actually do. Last year they saw how much the 5 seed. I mean, with like they were 5 seed. With the Panthers this year, even though they're not at home, they won in the Panthers. They want the Panthers, and I can clearly see, they did, So, they did, with this win, they win clinching 5 seed in the NFC because San Francisco lost to see, and Seattle, if they lost, they would have been 5. And then the Rams would have been, LA Rams would have been 6. But San Francisco lost, and then LA Rams won. So that they makes them the 5 seed. The LA Rams, and no, it was close. It was taped at halftime. It was 20, or it was not. It was 16-6. Okay, that maybe the Rams will later will, but no. In the 4th quarter, but no, in the 3rd quarter, the LA Rams. Yeah, it was a close one. It was 23-20 after 3. So, like I said, the Rams just had some separation in the first quarter, and then the 4th, but not, or second, I guess you would say, the first half and the 4th quarter, but not really. In the end, like the 3rd quarter, so it's something they need to really work on. Kind of. But again, you're not always gonna have that in the NFL. Like college, I guess, where you're kind of expected. I guess a lot of teams in the NFL are pretty good. They're all at similar levels, so stuff. But we have Jacoby Brissett, 22 third, 24 yards, 2 touchdown reception. There was definitely 25-40, 215 yards, 4 touchdowns. So really solid day for Matthew Stafford. McCray, they could not rush the ball with, 2 carries, 20 yards. Cameron Williams, 12 carries, 206 yards. Wilson, 5 catches, 9 yards. Derek Higbee, 5 catches, 9 yards, a touchdown. The leader for the Rams. No. Hakeem. The opponent should play. 28 yards. And Jacoby took 6 sacks. And then Jacoby set 2 for 19, Kirk 7 for 18, and 3 for 13. About 7 for 7. Medium McCurry 1 for 3, Higgins 2 for 20, Carter 3 for 2, Garrett 2 for 15, Kainer 2 for 15, Then you have Bitcoin, 13 runs, years. Udoku 2 runs, 3 runs, several renters. Grapple Lucky Man probably took these 3 runs, years. And runs new runs 2 colors around. And then Udoku 10 runs, 10 catches, racers. Runs 4 catches, racers. Can runs 3 catches, 20 runs. At all, 1 catch, needs your Bitcoin, catch for 10 years. Not the catch for 6 runs. Play well, basically. You know, and they got the 5 seed. He was surviving with field goals in the first quarter. Meebus had 3rd period, ran had 45. And Meebus and Random both had field goals in second quarter, 42 and 56. They shuffled Clip Richards with the 122 in the third quarter. The next one was going to Meebus with 4 field goal. And they won, and then you probably used the timeout. The Rams, they're stopping them. They get the ball back. Usually reset the Wilson for his mates touch. The running next one is good. You probably reset. Here's Iguara for 10 yards, and touchdown, and Parkinson 10 yards, and the touchdown. And then yeah, I think the 4th quarter 20-yard touchdown, and Parkinson 1-yard touchdown. And yeah, pretty much real good. So they clinched the 5 seed to take on the Carolina Panthers in the NFL playoffs. So you know the seeding for a few teams now. No. The Las Vegas Raiders, in what could be Pete Carroll's final game ever in the NFL, he, as a head coach, he was at USC, and then for a while in college, and then he went, and then he had allegations against him, so then he went to the NFL, and then went to the Seahawks for a while, and then ended up getting let go from the Seahawks, had a year off, and then went to Raiders, and had the success he's hoped for. And then Travis Kelce with Patrick Mahomes and all their stars. They have not had the year they wanted. But could be Pete Carroll's final game ever in the NFL. And same with Travis Kelce's. Seems like pretty much could be Travis Kelce's final game in the NFL. This was, but it's a game no one could really see. It has a good meaning, but just not like, it seems sad that, you got Travis Kelce's final game. He's been a well-respected player. He hasn't got a lot of well-known in the NFL because he was on, the Chiefs for forever. He was, they did not have the best team, so he was not the most well-known. And then when they got good, got some respect, on their names, on their name. So, and then the Raiders, and they had Patrick Mahomes had injury, so that's probably could be why they might not be playing so well, because he was, and he just didn't know it, And then the Raiders, they won this 14-12. Pete Carroll's final game ever in the NFL. It was Pete Carroll, this final game ever. Travis Kelce, his final game ever. I don't know. Pete Carroll final game I had, and then Chiefs final game ever. We saw him for 48 yards. O'Connell. Smith and Neck at the start. 10 probably was, 10 yards. And then Smith, 12 runs, 50 yards. Yesterday, 26 runs, 8 centers. Hollywood Brown, 3 catches, 46 yards. Mayer, just a clock one. Someone just 50 yards. And then we also had Kareem Hunt, 5 catches, 4 runs, 14 yards. Pierce, 4 runs, 6 yards. Shell, 4 runs, 1 for yards. Conklin. Irons. Great. 3 catches turns. 3 catches turns. Smithers, 2 catches turns. Just go see 3 catches turns. Rouse, 2 catches birds. And Smith, 2 catches turns. And then Kenny Pickett came in. Pass for 4 yards. 1 for 1 for 4 yards. Interceptions. 2 sacks. Kind of, like I said, took a sack. And then you had a bunch of players. And then Tucker. 2 catches turns. Jackson 1 catch turns. 3 catches turns. Catch 5 yards for Tyler. Catch for 5 yards. And the first score here, Booker 36 field goal. And then Deanna Carson had 32 and 23 yard field goals. And Harrison Butker had a 40-yard field goal on the third. Then Deanna Carson had 55-yard field goal on the fourth. It was 9-6. So the Vegas Raiders up on top of the Kansas City Chiefs. And Bouchel sacked for a 10-yard loss. And then here they got the ball back. Harrison Butker 46-yard field goal. And 41, and then 3:43 to go and a 1-1 to go. 41-yard field goal. And then it was 12-11. And you thought, okay, maybe the Chiefs went just barely. And then Daniel Carson, 60-yard field goal attempt on the second last play of the game, and then they did like the laterals, tried out, and that was it. 14-12. The Raiders get the win in the final game ever. And probably in the final game ever as Pete Carroll's head coaching career. I mean, maybe he goes back to college football. Maybe he goes back there, like Bill Belichick. Or maybe he just ends up retiring. I don't see him like getting a third chance. I really don't, because if he got canned after the Raiders' first season, trying to rebuild them, no. And then the Washington Commanders stun the Philadelphia Eagles 24-17. So the Philadelphia Eagles are the 3 seed NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles would be the 2 seed if they were to win, and the Chicago Bears happen to lose. But if both lost, the Eagles would be a 3 seed. The Bears would be a 2 seed. If basically the Bears had to lose and the Eagles had to win for them, the Eagles to be the 2 seed. But the Eagles rested their starters in this game. They didn't care if they were the 2 seed or the 3 seed. They didn't care, And thought the Bears did actually lose to the Lions with their starters in the regular season early on. The Lions won pretty handily, so pretty good. So maybe thought that would be the similar result, or result, even though the Lions won. The Commanders won 24-17, but the Eagles had a lot of their backups in. And you had Johnson 14 for 22, 102 yards, just an interception. Josh Johnson, the third string. Marcus Miller got hurt. And then Josh Johnson went the third string. Bryce squad quarterback. He had to start the year he came in. And Henry Key, 21-40, 2 for a touchdown interception. Earliest year, 16 runs, 60 yards to touchdown. David 16 runs, 75 yards to touchdown. Jared Warren 4 catches, 50 yards. Dave Smith 3 catches, 50 yards. Anyway, Josh Johnson 9 for 45. Jacoby Prescott 14 runs for 2 yards. Nicholas 3 runs for 3 yards. Steve Samuel 2 runs a yard. Steve Samuel 2 catches, 24 yards for the Commanders. Rodney for 18 for running. Schuster is Jr. Bates 2 for 13. Burks 2 for 12. Nichols 1 for 8. Sin 2 for 3. Then you had Dotson 2 for 40. Burks 3 for 13. Victor runs around. Arlington 1 for 30. Kutcher 2 for 9. Kobe 2 for 20. Shipley 2 for 11. A.J. John 1 for 3. Levante Smith was the only one who played. Yeah. In the scoring summary, in the first quarter, no score. Second quarter, The keys to Cockatoo for 15 yards. And Rodriguez up the middle for a yard for a touchdown. And the next one's good for Jake. And we 53 for goal. And this first final play of the second quarter. I think those were no cheers. Jake at 39 for goal. And then Josh Johnson passed to Jake at 8 for 2 yards. And then thrown out M for a yard. And that was it. And Jake moving as good. And then the 17 so the NFC playoff picture was now set that point with the Seattle set 1 again the bye, the 2 seed, the Chicago Bears are taking on the 7 seed Green Bay Packers, the 3 seed the Eagles taking on the 6 seeded San Francisco Squares, and then the 4 seed Carolina Panther State hosting the 5 seed Los Angeles Rams. And then the AFC we had you had the AFC South champions. You had the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then you had the New England Patriots being the AFC East champions, like the Buffalo Bills lost to the Philadelphia Eagles week 17. And then you had the Denver Broncos. You had in the AFC West. So you know what seeds they would be. And then you had the Buffalo Bills, Houston Texans, and Los Angeles Chargers 5, 6, and 7. You know what the seedings would be. And then you knew the 4 seed would be either the Baltimore Ravens or Pittsburgh Steelers winner. And the New England Patriots end up becoming now the New England Patriots. Now you know the 2 seed. And New England Patriots. You know the 3 seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars. At minimum. Because in order to be the 1 seed, in order for the Jaguars to be the 1 seed, you'd have to have the Patriots and the Broncos lose. And in order to be a 2 seed, you'd have to have either the Broncos or the Patriots lose and they win. And then there'd be the 3 seed, the Broncos, Patriots. If they lose, they would be the 3 seed regardless. But if all 3 teams win, they'd be the 3 seed. If the Broncos and Patriots lost, they'd be the 1 seed. If the Broncos or Patriots lost, they'd be the 2. So at best, they can be the 2 seed as of now. And at worst, they'll act in 3. So and the Patriots, like everyone, people are saying, oh, that New England Patriots are playing like week 13s. Yeah, they might be, but they're playing, not like close games. They're playing like what's a 13-10 Patriots win over the Dolphins. And what they're started. They dominated. Quinn Ewers, 16-23, 103 series for touchdown reception. Drake May, 14-18, 100 yards a touchdown. This pretty much shows that Tua Tagovailoa's time as a quarterback is done. With all his injuries, head injuries. I mean, not because of injuries, but just because. That might force him to be like a backup. Should be probably best for him. And then Wright, 13 runs, 23 yards for his hole. Then Rondé Stevenson, 7 runs, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. May 14-18, 100 yards a touchdown pass. And then Weasel Jr., 3 catches for 105 catches, 56 yards. Then Zach Wilson went in 2 passes, no completion. Then Washington 2 for Niners, or 9 runs Niners. Niners 1 a run for Niners. Budget 3 catches 3 yards. T. Washington 2 catches Mason. Right 2 catches in yards. Hill 1 catch yards. Washington 3 catches 6 yards. Ingold 1 catch yards. Warren a catch yards. Then Patriots. Josh Dobbs in the 4th quarter, he came in 3 catches for 3 passes, 4 yards, or 3 of 4 passing, 23 yards. He came in late. Then Henderson 13 runs, 53 yards. Ridley 5 runs, 13 yards. Dobbs 3 runs, 0 yards. Taking some knee zones as well. So that kind of negated his rushing there. His rush. And then and then Johnson 5 runs, 6 yards. Williams a run for 5 yards. And then Stephon Diggs 3 catches for 1 yard. Chisholm the 3rd, a catch for 3 yards. Those 2 catches 20 yards. 2 catches 24. And you see 2 catches 20 yards. For a catcher, or a catcher no yards. Yeah. No. And then in the first score, Henderson rushed right guard for 5 yards, and Ron Justinson rushed right tackle for 2 yards. And Barry Gallus extra home for When you rushed to Washington for yards, Hurst next play good, and he made 50 yard field goal at 28 and Barry Gallus made a 50 yard field goal. No 10 up, and that was 17-10. Drake made Ron Justinson for 15 yards, and Barry Gallus extra is good. And Ron Justinson rushed for 3 yards touchdown, and Barry Gallus extra is good. Harrison rushed tackle for 2 yards, and Barry Gallus extra is good. And that is the game. 38-10. So a domination of the New England Patriots. So now we have 4 games left here. I'm here to talk about. I talked about 2 of the 3 Fox games. And I talked about 2 of the 4 CBS games. So I'm going to talk about the final Fox game, the America's game of the week between the America's game of the week game between on Fox between the Detroit Lions at Chicago Bears. If the Chicago Bears won, they'd be the 2 seed, which, as you know now, they are the 2 seed, but they didn't know that at the game. The players didn't, the fans didn't know this. Players, nobody. Obviously, I don't think they can announce over the intercom, all that stuff. So the players still play. They aren't like, hey, this? Hey, we're gonna rest our stars. We're gonna find out. We're gonna rest their stars. Bears are in the middle, in the 4th quarter. Maybe take a time to rest their stars. Hey, we're gonna finish the drive. I'll rest the stars. Rest. Oh, they're not gonna do that. And the fans in the team, they're not gonna look on their phones really to find out. I mean, some might, but I doubt. But why would you? That one. Sure, there would be a few. And then you have the the CBS game of the week, CBS featured game, the 4-2 Eastern, the Los Angeles Chargers fighting for either a 6 or a 7 seed. Since the Houston Texans won, they could not be they cannot be the 5 seed because the Houston Texans, with that win, clinched the 5 seed. They did clinch the 5 seed now. The 6 seed, and also the Houston Texans do have the advantage over the Los Angeles Chargers when it comes to head-to-head. So the 6 seed, the Buffalo Bills, if the Los Angeles Chargers won, they would be the 6 seed. And if the Buffalo Bills if the Buffalo Bills lost to your Jets, it would be the 7th seed. If that would be, you know. And the only way the Bills could be a 7th seed for sure is if they lost to the Chargers or wrong. But if they both lost, it would be the 7th. And we have to find out what. So we'll see what goes on. So it'd be interesting to see what goes on. Will the Curve be a 6, or will the Bills be a 6? And then will and then did the Bears win for the 2 seed and guarantee themselves that 2 spot? The players a 2 spot. Before they found out, when they got in the locker room, if the Eagles won over the Washington Bears, for them to clinch it 2 seed.